In this video, I wanted to share with you guys my vlogging setup, which is constantly evolving, and I feel like I finally have it nailed down to something I'm happy with. This is going to be my vlogging setup for a while. The camera is a Canon M6. The microphone is a Rode Video Micro, and the tripod, FLM CP26, I believe. This is the same tripod I reviewed not long ago. And the ball head is a Really Right Stuff BH25. So first of all, the reason that I went with the Canon M6, it has this nice flippy screen so I can see myself. It is incredibly small and light. This thing weighs only like 450 grams, which is incredibly light. And it has Canon's really excellent dual pixel AF. So it focuses really well on my face and I don't have to worry about focus. The cool part of using a small travel tripod for a vlogging setup is this. Because I'm often doing shots where it's, Nick hiking through the woods or Nick hiking through the desert, blah, blah, blah. It's nice to have a decent tripod where I can set it down and get really stable shots and not worry about it falling over. But then once I need to do the talking head shot, I can simply take the center column out and I have a nice little selfie stick. And this is incredibly useful, incredibly handy, and very, very light. This is carbon fiber. And then this ball head weighs absolutely nothing. And this combination is incredibly lightweight and it's really nice. Pretty happy with the image quality coming out of the Canon M6. Right now I have the 11 to 22 millimeter lens. Unfortunately, this is a f4 to f5.6, which is not ideal for getting any kind of shallow depth of field, but I do have the Pancake 22 millimeter f2, which I'm using for those shallow depth of field shots and for when the light starts to drop or those pre-dawn shoots. And that thing is an absolute feather. So it's so nice to be able to walk around, get my talking head shot, and then when it's time to go back on the tripod, I just slide it back in and boom, now I'm back on the tripod. This setup has been very, very fast for me and I'm really happy with it. I've only been using it for like one vlog so far, but I can tell that this is going to be my setup moving forward because it's miles better than what I've done in the past. You'll notice this giant muff ball on the side of my camera. So what I've done is I've actually followed this guy's video who has a really cool video on just a DIY way of mounting the Rode Video Micro to the side of the camera. That way you don't have to mount it to the hot shoe and obstruct the view of your flippy screen. While that worked really well, I found that it was still pretty vulnerable, this mic was, to wind from the backside. So I just took another small little dead cat and I cut a hole in it, ran the cable through it, and then now it's completely encased with a dead cat and it's a little bit better in windy situations. I still find that these guys, this lapel mic that I'm using right now, it's just a Rode lapel mic with the little muffy thing on it. It's still much better in high wind situations. And the cool thing is I can unplug this and simply plug my lapel mic in right here and I can have my lapel mic in those really windy situations. Also, in those times when I'm gonna be really far away from the camera, I have a Zoom H1, which I'm recording through right now for this video. And I can have this recording just in case I'm going to do one of those talking shots where I'm going to be far away from the camera. And then I can choose which audio to use after the fact. And I think that that's gonna work pretty well. So the combination of this really light camera, granted it is not a 4K camera, but I don't feel that it's really necessary for vlogging. It's not a 4K camera, but it is incredibly lightweight. I'm very happy with the autofocus. The autofocus is excellent on these Canon cameras. This has the same sensor as an 80D and in the form factor of like a point and shoot. And I've really been happy with it. And combining it with the really light, Really Right Stuff ball head and a light carbon fiber tripod, it makes for a setup that I don't mind taking out on hikes in addition to my main kit. It adds not very much weight. So looking back, I've used everything from GoPros to my 5D Mark IV, which is just ridiculous. And I'm very, very happy with this current setup. I do wish that there was a fast wide angle lens for this Canon M6. F4 just doesn't cut it in those really early morning or really late evening low light shoots. And 22 millimeters on the Pancake lens is just too tight for a walking shot. I end up having to you know, go like this just so it's not like just eyeballs in the frame. So this 11-22 is great. I just wish it was faster. So Canon, if you're listening, I would love to have like an 11mm f2.8 for this, would be great. Okay, hopefully this has been useful or interesting to somebody out there. Let me know if you have any questions about this particular setup, and we'll catch you later. Thanks guys, bye-bye.